Hey everybody, this is TimeRider with a little pre-April foolery. 75 years is a long time to make toys, but that's what ERTL has done. They came from Iowa in 1945, Iowa, where there are more cows than people. It's only fitting that their introduction to the toy market was in farm toys, with names like Deere and Case. They've also made figurines for the likes of Garfield, Star Wars, and many more. And of course they make cars, like this third generation Z28 Camaro. The third gen Camaro was a complete departure from the previous versions, from its extreme sloped windshield, 62 degrees, 2 degrees more than General Motors had done up to this point, to the large rear window hatchback. The car had been reinvented. I'm going to give this thing a bit of a facelift, so stick around. When I first looked at this thing, it was a little foreshadowing to me. The paint looked really thick, and I've said this before about thick paint. A lot of times it hides a really bad casting. It's held together with two posts like a lot of die casts are. These were very small. I didn't think that I was going to be able to tap them. I was probably going to have to reassemble the car with super glue. Yeah, you can see how small they are. They're really tiny. And the thing is this plastic is so brittle. I actually broke a piece out of the base when I was taking it apart. Something I don't usually do. I've actually only done it like one time before, but I finally got it apart. You can see where my finger is. I just busted that little bit of the corner off. Not very much. It isn't enough to impact it, but I hadn't done too many ERTLs. In fact, I don't even know if I've done any. You know, Chevy made, in addition to the Z28, Primordial Ooze. Shake for luck. Look at all that stuff in there, huh? Look at it. They made a Z28E, which was it had European specifications. It was for release in Europe. And I don't know what year this is supposed to represent. I looked at it, and the taillights seem to be a determining factor, whether they're early or late. At least they're one of the determining factors, but this was not cast accurate enough that I could tell which one it was supposed to be. I opted to paint it as if it were the later versions. It left a lot of paint and cracks, something I haven't had to do. But now with all the new recipe strippers, I find myself doing a little more. It doesn't bother me, it's just something I hadn't had to do for a while when I was using aircraft stripper. A little bit of filing, just to get the casting the way I wanted. I was really surprised it had actually a pretty good surface to it. I'd been soaking in brake fluid to get rid of the stuff on the inside. That's what I did with this one. I got it cleaned up pretty good. When this generation of Camaro came about, they were offered with 4 cylinders, V6s, and V8s. Over half of the people opted for the V8. And of course 6-cylinder next, with 4-cylinder being last. I'm doing black duplicolor primer to a couple coats of it. And if you're wondering, Z28 is an RPO code that Chevrolet used to denote an engine package that was compliant with SCCA racing rules. It had to be less than 305 cubic inches. So, and yep, that's purple. It's iridescent creative purple. Saw a picture of one on the internet that was purple. I just thought it looked nice. I figured I'd go that way. I'm gonna scrape the paint off of a lot of these chrome pieces, and if you follow me, you've probably seen me do this before. I think it just gives a really nice surface to do your finish work on. I mean, even if you have to paint it, it makes a nice back. You can use translucent paints and get some really good results. A little Z28 logo down there. I don't know what the logo meant. I looked too, try to figure out what the logos on the quarter panel say, but I didn't scrape those, but I don't know what they say either. And I did around the windows. They were nice high-ridged trims. So, and on my gauzy, which I'm going to use on this smoked window, I cleaned it up really good. And we'll give her a dip. You know, this stuff it's really thick compared to what I'm accustomed to. I should qualify that. Use a little Q-tip action here. Try to soak up some of that gauzy. And I'm grabbing it actually by the edges of the mount on the bottom there, so I'm not getting any fingerprints on the windshield portion. Just wanted to turn it around so I could do the Q-tip on the other side too. And then cover it up and let it dry for a while. So anyway, let's go back to where I started. You know, like I say, it wasn't a bad casting. I hated the wheels. And it had really thick paint, which led me to believe that maybe the casting wasn't very good. But, I was absolutely wrong there. So let's take a look at where I wound up. Well, hey, there you have it. The Gen 3 Camaro by ERTL. Those wheels are from M2, and I really liked them. I thought they went well with this casting. And I gotta be honest with you, I would love to own one of these, even today. You could get these with a small block, and you could drop anything up to 400 cubic inches into it, and it would fit. There will be an episode of The Bench following the video if you like that kind of thing, so stick around. This is TimeRider, and I'll leave the light on for you. Thanks for hanging around for this edition of The Bench. Hey, with all the stuff going on last week, it was pretty confusing around here, and I didn't want anybody to forget that I'm working on this Studebaker for release with my mystery builder, who is not a resident of this country, by the by. Anyway, I got that thing that I'm working on, and then I wanted to thank everybody who helped me give away 3 GT40s, which led to me being able to darken in a few more places on the map where all my wee little cars have gone. And then I'm working also on this Rolls Royce. I had given the other Rolls Royce to Jim Silva. I did one of these before. And I'm going to take another stab at that wonderful champagne color. And then out of the mothballs, I'm trying to get stuff that I got buried done. I dug this Mustang out of the mothballs. And I'm going to try to do something with that here coming up. That's about all I got going on. I hope everybody's having a great week. Look for another video later this week. Probably the ISO Grifo. I don't know. I got a Hot Wheels that's done too. So anyway, I'll put something together for later. This is TimeRider wishing everybody well.